Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today starts week 1 of the Fort Worth Fabric Studio Simply Summer Sew Along. It's going to be a table runner this time along. It's going to be 38 by 16 and it's only going to be 3 weeks. So this week we're going to do the cutting and week 2 and week 3 we're going to sew. So I'm really excited to get started. If you did the Simply Spring Sew Along last year, this table runner is going to coordinate with that quilt that we did. Unfortunately, I don't have mine to show you as I did give it away to a friend, but you can go look on their website and you can find it there if you'd like to take a peek at what that looked like. This is the same designer, the same of the fabric. It's a new fabric line, but all of this designer's fabrics, the Create Joy project, match all her other lines. So the nice thing is that this is going to look really good. So if you still have that quilt and you're throwing it on the back of a chair because it was a lap quilt or a couch, now you'll have a table runner that matches that you can throw on your coffee table or a side table or whatever you've got. So I think that's really cool that they match this up. Now, if you need the patterns, I've linked the website down below where you can go download the first week's patterns, and the patterns will release every Monday at 8 a.m. Central Time. And then you can sew along with me. So print off your pattern and let's get cutting. Here's the directions for week 1, the cutting. It's going to be 2 pages, this page and this page over here. This one has the colors of the fabric on there. I didn't print mine out in colors. I was just looking at it on my computer, so no need to show you that one. And it also breaks it down by week if you want to separate your pieces out by week. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what we cut. I've already cut all my pieces. I don't typically cut on camera. I've talked about this before, but I have all my pieces ready, so I was going to show you what we've got here. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and I've taken all my spare pieces, and there were some extras this time, and I've kept the letter, coordinating letter, so this is fabric A, the white, and put these pins that have the alphabets on them so I know what's what. So that's my extra fabric. And the first thing you need to cut is 9 5 3/4 inch squares. So cut those first. So you're going to need 2 strips of 5 3/4, and then cut these other little strips because you want to make sure you don't run out of fabric for these guys. Then you're going to cut 2 34.5 by 1.5 inch strips, which are these right here. And then you're going to cut 4 10.5 by 1.5 inch strips, which are these right here. So that's all of our white, so not too much to cut this time. So that's A right there. As you can see my little letter. The next fabric is our darker green, and that is B of the blender fabrics. There's a lighter green and a darker green. This one kind of looks like grass, the other one kind of looks like lime. So that one you're going to cut 3 5 3/4 inch squares. So if you can see a theme forming here, we had 5 3/4 inch squares here, 5 3/4 inch squares here, and this is the scrap that I had left. And I like to show you the scrap so you know how much you have left over. There wasn't a lot, so be super careful with the green when you cut it. So that is our B fabric. Next, our C fabric is that lighter green I was talking about. Almost looks like a lime green. This is what was left of that. So again, not a whole nother square's worth, so be super careful when you cut. And you're going to cut 3 of those. Put that over here. That's C. And these little numbers, they have numbers, or little pins, they have numbers on one side and letters on the other. Really like these for marking. So this is our D fabric right here, and for that one we needed 4 5 3/4 squares, so that's that one. For our E fabric, it's this beautiful rainbowy fern kind of leafy thing. That's what I had left over, and this one you need 2 of those 5 3/4 squares. This is our F fabric, another sort of rainbowy floral, and this one you needed 2 of the 5 3/4. See the theme? So because so many of these have 5 3/4, you could stack up some of these fabrics and cut them in layers, so you're not having to cut as much. But honestly, even with that, this didn't take me long to cut because the pieces are all really big and they're all kind of the same. So this is the G fabric. It's beautiful pink floral, almost magenta, and that one you only need 1 5 3/4 inch square, so that one went really quick. There was more left of that one. out of any of them, and that one, like, I could have probably cut another 1 or 2 of those squares. So that one had the most left over. The H fabric is this really pretty blue, and that one you needed 4 2.5 inch squares and 2 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles. And then, as you can see, this is all I had left. So again, you might have been able to get one more 2.5 inch square, but not a whole lot. So be super careful when you cut that one. The next one was our fabric J, and I got them out of order here. Fabric J, which is this beautiful blue with flowers on it. This is also going to be my backing fabric. And that one you needed 4 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, and again, this is all that was left. So as you can see, if I made a mistake, I wouldn't have had enough to make another one, so be super careful with that one when you cut it. And then the last fabric was K, which was this fabric right here, and here's my strips. This is, I'm sorry, I got that, yeah. This is fabric I actually skipped this one. So that was J, this is fabric I apologize, I just realized that I missed that one. Fabric I, and this was 2 34.5 inch by 2.5 inch strips, and that's going to be, I don't know what that's going to be, but actually was thinking that was binding, but it's not because there's only 2 of them. So that's that. Sorry I skipped that one. I was going too fast. And then the last fabric, this is the last fabric, is fabric K, which is this stripe. And when we got this kit, if you guys remember from my video, I was like, oh, I hope that's the binding because I love a striped binding. Well, it was. So there's 4 of these that you need. So 4, whatever you like your binding. The instructions say 2.5 inch, but I prefer 2 1/4, so I cut mine 2 1/4. But if you like 2.5 inch, that's perfectly fine. I like 2 1/4 a little bit more. So that's all your fabrics. So K, then J, which I've got out of order before, and then this beautiful floral, which is what Create Joy is known for. That's the I fabric, and then this is the H fabric right here. This fabric is the G fabric, and this is the one that you have the most left of. So if you can see, I've got a bunch, and I probably could have cut 2 more squares, but all the rest of them are pretty tight, so make sure that you're cutting really carefully. This is another one that you probably could have got 1 more out of if you needed to. But 2 of the F, 2 of the E, so as you can see, the amounts are really similar. 4 of the D, 3 of the C, 3 of the B, and then all your white, which is 9 of the 5 3/4, and then your strips. So a lot of 5 3/4 inch blocks. Again, like I said, you could stack them up. So when I did this, I stacked up my greens, I stacked up the next set of 2, I just did it like 2 fabrics at a time and cut them that way. So it goes fairly quickly. We're not sewing anything this week, so all you have to do is get all these cut and then join me next Monday to sew week number 2. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!